That the biggest reduction in carbon over the past few years is in something that most of us hardly even noticed: renewable energy for our homes, which is a source of hope, as often the challenge of climate change can leave you with a sense of powerlessness, like there's nothing we can do to make a difference. Well, I've been to meet some people in one business, the clothing industry, who just don't think that's true. Blazing a trail for sustainable fashion, these garments showcased at the Dubai World Expo are all made by De Montfort University graduates. From repurposing materials to zero waste pattern cutting, staff and students are leading the way on a global stage.
They were really looking at ways of disrupting the current production model of taking materials from the environment, making new garments and then throwing them away. So really thinking about some of the issues around, for instance, water use, pollution, waste in the supply chain, reusing materials rather than throwing them away.
Leicester's textile industry is worth £344 million to the local economy. Claire says many brands are trying to become more sustainable, but they need support.
If you are a factory that's moving towards using renewable energy in your production, how do we reward that? How do we incentivise other companies to follow suit? Because often the will is there, but the finance or the infrastructure, it doesn't exist in that way.
For Navneet, repurposing is at the core of her work. Also a De Montfort graduate, she believes designers have to take responsibility.
So these are the jeans that I source from charity shops to make my garments. So charity shops get so many garments that they can't actually sell them all. So a lot of the bulk of it does end up going either to recycling centres or they go to landfill.
Navneet, why did you, as a young designer, want to build a whole business around sustainability?
I think for me it was really important because at a point in my design process, I felt guilty for what was happening and then contributing to that. And I believe that as designers, we are problem solvers. So this is the new problem that we have in the industry. So our job should be, what can we do and how can we design to solve this problem?
From a one-woman startup to a 60-year-old manufacturer, in Alfreton in Derbyshire, David Nieper are striving to become a carbon-neutral business, and they want to take this nationally.
So my suggestion is that garments should have an at-a-glance carbon checker label so that consumers can see immediately how much carbon is emitted by the company that's done most of the work in making the garment. And if consumers have a choice, you have a great way of cleaning up the world's worst polluting industries.
Do you think there is a genuine appetite that consumers will buy something based on the knowledge of its carbon footprint?
Oh, I think so. We've done a survey of 2,000 consumers and we found that 70% think they have a right to know what carbon footprint of their clothes are, and 79% think businesses should do more to be transparent about their footprint.
From big brands and new designers to research, those we spoke to say it's time sustainability is at the heart of the fashion industry. Lots of ideas there. Mark, we heard from Christopher Nieper with a solid suggestion, a carbon tracker, and with Brexit we don't have to stick with European standards anymore. What do you think of that as an idea?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a concept worthy of further investigation, to be honest. Anyway, obviously we'd have to look at how to prevent people from fraudulently presenting their garments as being very low carbon footprint and a way of sort of authenticating which ones were right and wrong. But I think it's a concept which is worthy of further exploration.